Have you ever paused and thought that you might be using AI wrong in 2026? And I don't mean you're using the wrong app. Maybe you've been asking it to solve the wrong problem. A lot of agents are treating AI like one more thing they have to keep up with. A new model drops, then a new app, then you get this new prompt pack, then set up new automation, new dashboard, all that jazz. Pretty soon, the tool that was supposed to save time becomes another tab sitting open while the actual work waits. The better question is simpler. Did AI help you get closer to a client conversation, a better follow-up, a clearer market explanation, or a cleaner piece of content? If the answer is no, you may not be using AI. You may just be playing with it because it's a shiny new toy. Before we get into it, hit like if you want more practical real estate AI conversations, subscribe if you're building a stronger business this year, and drop a comment with the AI task that still feels clunky for you. So the first thing I'd clean up is the mindset. AI should reduce stress. It should help you stop staring at a blank screen. It should help you organize the messy parts of the business faster. If it's adding stress, subscriptions, confusion, and 10 extra steps, something is off. Think about the real places agents get stuck. A seller wants an update and you have showing feedback in 3 different places. A buyer asks a compensation question and you know the answer, but the wording feels awkward. You need 3 content ideas from a call you just had, but you don't want to start from nothing. That's where AI can help. Not because it replaces the work, but because it gets you moving. NAR's technology survey found that realtors adopt technology mainly to save time and improve the client experience. That should be the filter. If the AI tool does neither, it probably doesn't belong in your daily workflow. The second thing I'd fix is prompting. Prompting is communication. That's it. If you give AI a lazy question, you're probably going to get a lazy answer. And that is where a lot of agents decide AI is useless when the real issue is that they gave it almost nothing to work with. Here's a real example. Bad prompt. Write me a market update for Houston. You'll get something that sounds like every other market update on the internet. It may be polished, but it won't be very useful. Good prompt. Write a short seller update for a Houston homeowner whose listing has had 10 showings, 2 second showings, no offers, and feedback that price feels high compared with nearby renovated homes. Keep the tone calm, direct, and advisory. That gives AI context. Now it can help you draft something closer to a real conversation. Great prompt. Act like my listing prep assistant. Before writing anything, ask me 5 questions about the seller's motivation, property condition, competing listings, recent feedback, and my recommended next step. After I answer, draft a seller update with 3 parts: what we're seeing, what it means, and what I recommend. That prompt is better because it makes AI slow down and help you think. That's the difference. A bad prompt asks AI to perform. A better prompt gives it context. A great prompt turns it into a thinking partner before the draft ever starts. The same applies to buyer consultations. Bad prompt, write a buyer agreement script. Good prompt, help me explain buyer representation to a first-time buyer who is nervous about signing before touring. Great prompt, ask me what this buyer is worried about, what state forms we use, what services we provide, and what tone would feel most natural. Then help me prepare a conversation outline, not a script. That last part matters because written buyer agreements move the value conversation earlier. NAR's guidance says buyers working with MLS participants need a written agreement before touring, including in-person and live virtual tours. So agents need language that is clear, compliant, and human. AI can help you practice. The agent still has to earn trust in the room. The third issue is prompt packs. Yeah, I know. They're tempting. 100 prompts every agent needs sounds useful when you're busy and trying to catch up. The problem is that generic prompts create generic output. They don't know your market, your client, your listing, your voice, your lead source, your team standard, or the decision you're trying to help someone make. I'd rather see an agent build 5 prompts around actual repeatable problems. A seller update prompt, a buyer consultation prep prompt, a content repurposing prompt. 5 real workflows will beat a folder full of generic prompts you never use. Here's a better way to build your own prompt. Start by saying who the client is, what situation they're in, what outcome you want, what tone fits the relationship, and what constraints matter. Then tell AI what to do before it writes. Ask it to clarify, challenge assumptions, or give options. That's where the quality starts to change. For example, instead of asking, give me follow-up text for old leads, try this. I have a database of buyers from 2023 and 2024 who paused because of rates. I want to restart the conversation without sounding salesy. Create 3 text options, one data-based, one lifestyle-based, and one question-based. Keep each under 280 characters and ask me what market update I want to reference before drafting. Now that forces the tool to work inside a real business situation. It also forces the agent to think more clearly. If you can't explain the problem to AI, there's a good chance you haven't fully explained it to yourself yet. The 4th issue is discoverability. This is where things get interesting for agents. AI can only recommend what it can find and understand. If your online presence says the same thing as every other agent, you're giving AI very little to work with. So check whether AI can access your website or social media, and then look at whether they actually say who you help, where you help them, and what problems you solve. That is not a vanity exercise anymore. It affects whether you are easy to understand online. This is where agents need to get more specific. I help buyers and sellers in Houston is not much of a signal. I help move up buyers in the Heights who are selling a bungalow and trying to buy more space without overpaying is a much clearer signal. It tells a human what you do, and it gives AI something more useful to associate with you. Same thing for content. If you want to be found for luxury, first-time buyers, downsizers, investors, relocation, a certain neighborhood, or a certain property type, you have to talk about it consistently, not once, not when you remember. Consistently enough that the internet starts to understand the lane you are in. A practical prompt for this would be, I'm a real estate agent in market. I want to become more visible for specific client type and specific area. Audit these content ideas and tell me which ones would create the strongest topical authority over the next 6 months. Then organize them into a weekly content plan with YouTube, Instagram, email, and website ideas. The 5th issue is tool chasing. A lot of agents don't need more AI tools. They need fewer tools connected to better habits. NAR's AI resources mention a wide range of AI applications in real estate, from generative AI and predictive analytics to marketing, lead generation, customer service, and operational efficiency. That's useful, but it can also become overwhelming fast. I'd build around 3 simple buckets: one tool for thinking and drafting, one tool for research or market organization, one workflow for follow-up, content, or client communication. Keep it simple enough that you'll actually use it on a busy Tuesday. Fancy doesn't matter if the workflow breaks the moment your phone starts ringing. The habit matters more than the app. Use AI when you need to clarify a client conversation, prepare a market explanation, turn messy notes into something usable, or repurpose work you already did. If you only open AI when you feel desperate or behind, it will always feel like a novelty. When it becomes part of your operating rhythm, it starts to save real time. Here's the practical version of the whole playbook. Use AI to reduce stress, not add more noise. Treat prompting like communication, not magic. Build prompts around your actual business instead of downloading generic packs. Make your online presence specific enough for people and AI to understand. Keep the tool stack simple enough to survive real life. That's exactly the lane we care about at Real Edge Network. Practical systems, fewer distractions, better agent thinking, and real workflows that help agents serve clients with more clarity. The agents who win with AI won't be the ones collecting the most apps. They'll be the ones asking better questions, building clearer habits, and staying human where it counts. If this gave you something useful, hit like, subscribe, and tell me in the comments which part of AI you want simplified next. And if you want to talk through what a practical AI workflow could look like in your business, click any of our resources in the description below and tell us where AI is getting messy. We'll start there. I'll see you on the next one.